All right. So yeah, good afternoon, everyone, no, and welcome back to our subject, administrative office procedures and records management. No, which is 2 weeks ago. No, completed the discussion for the first lecture, which is the introduction to administrative office management. No, na kung saan in that discussion, no, we laid the foundation for understanding the role of administrative professionals in the workplace. No, we also talk about how administrative professionals serve as the backbone of organizations, no? Na kung saan sila yung nagme-make sure, no, that the day-to-day operations in an office or in any environment runs smoothly, no? From managing schedules to handling information flow, no, communication, and even office leadership, no? So for today, we are moving into the module 2, no, the office systems and procedures. And I hope binasa nyo no yung module 2 that I sent last week, no, because that's basically our topic for discussion for today, no. Um and in this module 2, no, this is somehow an exciting topic because it is the part of our course, no, that really focuses on how things get done in the office, no? So kung yung first lecture natin or yung module 1 was about the who and why, no, who the administrative professionals are and why their role matters. No, so dito sa module 2, no, ng ating discussion, it's about the how, no? How do we make sure that office tasks are completed efficiently? No? Or how do we prevent errors? How do we prevent delays? And how do we prevent confusion? No? Or how do we design systems and procedures, no, that keep everything organized, no, that keep everything productive and professional? No? Which is to give you no a simple picture, think of an office like a machine, no? In order for a machine to work properly, no, syempre yung machine, di ba, may mga different parts yan. No, meron niyang mga gear, meron niyang mga switch, no, meron siyang every process, and every process has to be aligned, no? Kapag for example, yung isang machine is meron siyang missing part or may na-loose na part or merong part na out of place, no, the machine won't function as smoothly as it should, no? So ganun din sa office systems. No, office systems and procedures, no, are the gears, no, and the blueprint of the office machine, no? Sila yung step-by-step methods, no? Sila yung standardized processes and the structured systems, no, that ensure that all the tasks, no, na ginagawa sa isang office, from filing a document to scheduling a meeting, no, it should be done properly. It should be done consistently and efficiently, no? And maybe some of you may be wondering, no, isn't this just about following rules? Well, yes, no, but also more than that, no? So systems and procedures are not about creating rigid rules, no, for the sake of rules, kumbaga, no? Yung mga office systems, the reason kung bakit dinesign yan or kung bakit in every organizations meron tayong mga office systems and office procedures na kailangan sundin because hindi lang para masabi na ang isang organization ay may rules. No, which is even sa atin, no, sa classroom natin, sa klase natin, meron tayong rules. 'Di ba? That every time we have online classes, the rule is dapat you attend that Zoom platform for online class, and at the same time dapat you open your camera, no? So yun yung example ng mga systems natin na tinatawag. And yung mga systems na yun, hindi lang siya ginawa para masabing may rules. Okay, ganun din sa offices. No? So in any office organizations, in any office environment, no, the office systems and procedures are designed para lang, hindi lang para masabing may rules, no? Not for the sake of rules, no? Because office systems and procedures, they are created because the office system need to have clarity, need to have order, need to have flow, no? Um, so office systems and office procedures are about creating clarity, no? Creating order, creating flow inside the office so that everyone knows what to do, know how to do it, and when it needs to be done, no? Kasi kung for example, ang isang office system or nasa isang office tayo, no? Or nasa isang organization tayo tapos wala tayong sinusunod na office systems and procedures. No, what do you think would happen? Of course, magiging magulo, no? Magiging chaotic na hindi nyo alam kung ano yung susundin nyo. No, hindi nyo alam kung ano yung gagawin nyo at kung papaano nyo gagawin at kailan siya gagawin, no? So without systems, now we get chaos, and imagine an office now where employees file documents wherever they want, or where every department has a different way of submitting reports, or where communication is left to chance, no? So what do you think would happen, no? So syempre, kapag ganong magulo ang office, ganong magulo yung environment na walang malinaw na system, na walang malinaw na rules, na walang malinaw na procedure, siyempre talagang magiging magulo talaga siya, 'no? Baka, marami na kayong mga deadlines na mami-miss, marami na kayong mga information na mawawala, or marami na mga misunderstandings, 'no, na mangyayari, and the organization would lose its credibility, 'no? This is why itong lecture natin for today is important, 'no? It's crucial, okay? And by the end of the session, no, you will not, I hope, no, that you will not only understand what office systems and procedures are, but you also learn how to design, no, office systems and procedures, or how to manage office systems and procedures, and how you will apply this this learning from module 2 in real world situations, no? Kasi in your second year, you will be deployed in your internship. In your third year, you will also be deployed in your internship, and after you graduate, no, there's a high chance that you will be employed, no, in office environment, no. So dapat ngayon pa lang, no, nasisimulan ng ninyo nang matutunan, no, ano to mga office systems and procedures, how to design one, kasi baka mamaya, 'di ba, maging manager pala kayo pero you don't know how to design an office systems, mahirapan kayo, no? So let's begin with the first idea, which is designing, no, effective office systems. Okay, and when we talk about office systems, we are referring to the structured methods, no, that ensure, no, or nag-i-ensure na yung isang system, isang procedure sa isang office has a smooth operations. No, and ano ba yung mga different operations inside an office? No, it can be filing systems. No, it can be record keeping, or it can be communication protocols, or it could be approval processes, or scheduling systems, or even the use of technology, no, which is because of the technological advancement, no, na meron tayo ngayon. Now, there are different softwares, no, there are different applications that are helping, no, office management employees, no, for them to design effective office systems, no. And actually meron na nga ding mga AI, no, that AI do all the works, pero syempre yung mga AI na yon, it would not function if there will be no administrative professionals, no. So itong office systems na to, no, we can think of them as individual maps, no, that guide how yung iba't ibang tasks, no, na ginagawa sa isang office are carried out in that office, no? Na kung saan if the systems, no, or if the office systems are well designed, no, syempre yung mga employees, they can focus on their work, no, without second guessing kung ano ba yung susunod na steps na gagawin, no? So if the systems are poor, or hindi maganda ang isang na-design na office system, or hindi consistent, or there's inconsistency. No, syempre, yung employees would waste their time, no, trying to figure things out. No, they would waste their time correcting mistakes. No, they would miss time looking for information that should have been easily available, no? Kaya importante, no, sa isang office environment, importante sa mga administrative professionals like you, no, to know the importance of designing an effective office system. Kasi kung wala tayong maayos, no, na office systems in an office environment, or wala tayong malinaw na office system na sinusunod, no, sayang yung mga oras natin sa pag-figure out ng things kung ano yung mga dapat gawin, or meron kang nagawa pero dahil madaming mali, No, sayang yung oras ng kakatama nung pagkakamali na yun, no? Or looking for information that should have been done easily, no? So that's why there are different characteristics, no, that we are considering, no, in order for us to design an effective office system, no? And the first characteristic of an effective office system is itong dinidescribe natin na simplicity. Okay? Can you please read what is simplicity? And based from how you based from the definition, how do you understand simplicity, no, in designing effective office system? Let's start with Vladi. Can you please read?
Simplicity. A good office system is simple and easy to understand. Complex procedures can confuse employees, lead to errors, and ultimately reduce productivity.
Okay, thank you, Vlad. Based from how you read the definition of simplicity, bakit kaya simplicity is one of the characteristic na dapat nating i-consider in designing an effective office system?
Ano po, sir? So everyone can easily understand.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that everyone could easily understand. How about your thought, Mark Jan? Mark Jan? Mark Jan, nandiyan ka ba? Mark Jan, last call. Sige, kung hindi ka makapag-open ng mic, maybe at least you can give us any reaction so that I know that you're listening there on the other end. Mark Jan, Peol, not
Sir,
here.
di po marinig, sir.
Bakit hindi marinig?
Nasa labas po kasi ako, sir, eh. Kumakain po.
Oh, so parang kasalanan pa namin na lumabas ka, alam mong may klase ka.
Hindi po, kakatapos lang po kasi ng face-to-face po namin.
Okay, no? So the first characteristic, no, of an effective office system is the simplicity. No, pag sinabi nating simplicity, no, this means systems should not be unnecessarily complicated. No, hindi dapat komplikado yung mga system na i-design natin. No, kasi as administrative professional, basically tayo yung magde-design ng mga systems. Tayo yung magde-design ng mga office procedures that the rest of our employees would follow, no? So that's why this first characteristic of being simple, no, simplicity. Dapat kung magde-design tayo ng mga system, it's not something na complicated na sundin. It's not something na masyadong complicated na mahihirapan yung mga employees, no, yung mga co-workers or yung mga colleagues natin to follow, no? So a system that requires too many steps or a system that requires confusing instruction, no, will discourage employees from following it. No, kaya that's the first characteristic, no, in designing office system. It should be simple. It should have simplicity. No? For example, kunwari, if your document approval process, no, sa isang office requires 5 signatures from different people, no, employees will become frustrated, no, and delays are inevitable. No, but if the system is streamlined, no, let's say for example the creator or the author prepares the document, no, the supervisor reviews it, and then the manager approves it. No, the process becomes manageable, no? So simplicity is not about cutting corners, no, it's about removing unnecessary complications, no, which is sa enrollment process nga ninyo, no, we can say that somehow, no, it follows the simplicity. No, kasi before, nung ako yung estudyante, no, na nag-enroll in PUP, talagang there's a label, no, na pag sinabing PUP, pila ulit pila because no, you really need to go to the different offices, no? So sa inyo medyo sa iisang building lang kayo, no? From step 1 sa admission, from step 2 sa enrollment, step 3 sa medical, lilipat lang kayo for ano for step 4, no? And lilipat ulit for step 5. Medyo ano na yan, medyo streamlined na process na yan, no? Pero before, no, talagang madidescribe mo na pagpapasapasahan ka namang iba't ibang opisina, no? And I don't know kung narinig kung nabasa niyo na yung isa sa mga books ni Bob Ong. No, Bob Ong is one of the famous Filipino author. And isa sa mga libro niya, no, dinescribe niya kung bakit hindi na siya tumuloy sa PUP because of the systems, no, na medyo not streamlined during that time, no? But because of simplicity, no, yung experience nyo ngayon na enrollment, it becomes simple as possible, no, na talagang di na kayo masyadong nahirapan, no, na di na kayo masyadong na frustrate in following the process, no. So simplicity, it's about removing unnecessary complications, no. So the second characteristic, consistency. Can you please read? Uh, John Sarabia. Sarabia, John. John Sarabia, are you there? Jeneline?
Sir.
Yep.
Number 2 po, sir.
Hindi ko sure.
Consistency. Consistency and organization is critical when designing office system. Standardizing procedure ensures that every department or team follows the same step for completing similar tasks.
Okay, thank you, Jeneline. Based from the definition, no, that you read about consistency, ano kaya ang ibig sabihin yan? And ano yung connection niyan when it comes to designing an effective office system? Jeneline? Sige, how about you, Rian?
Sir
Rian?
po,
Yep.
um, po sa naintindihan ko, ang consistency po, para po siyang essential po siya sa organization kasi po parang standard po siya. Kailangan na follow na procedures or kunwari, mga deadline po per month yan para hindi po ma-reduce para po walang masyadong error and all po. Tsaka para po mabilis din po yung mga steps ganun po.
Alright. That's true, no? Pag sinabi natin consistency, to elaborate more, office systems should be standardized so that no matter which department you are in, you follow the same steps or similar tasks. Kumbaga parang iisa lang yung alam na process, isa lang yung alam na system. Kasi kung for example, kada ibang tao na napagtatanungan mo sa isang office, iba-iba yung alam nilang step-by-step procedure, iba-iba yung alam nilang step-by-step process, na talagang masasabi natin na there's inconsistency, no? And consistency builds reliability and builds professionalism. No, and kunwari, imagine a company no na kung saan ang isang department kunwari marketing department no that submits expense reports every Friday no while the team the finance team does it every month or the another department submits another they feel like it kung kailan lang nila gusto no kumbaga parang ano parang walang standardized na proseso, walang standardized na system. Kumbaga parang ang gulo, no? Ang magiging magulo siya tingnan, magiging magulo siya isipin kasi nga there's inconsistency, no? So dapat in any office organization, in any office environment, aside from the simplicity of the office systems and procedure, kailangan consistent siya. Hindi siya paiba-iba or hindi siya iba-iba. No, kasi kung merong inconsistency, magiging magulo talaga, no? So, that's for the consistency. Okay, let's go for the third characteristic, which is being flexible or the flexibility. Can you please read? Sige, Crystal.
Flexibility. While consistent is essential, office systems should be flexible enough to adapt to changing needs. Businesses' environments are dynamic, and new technologies or processes might require modification to existing system. Dito, sir, pagkakaintindi ko po, ito po yung kailangan mas malawak yung alam mo sa mga maging flexible ka to para kapag may mga changes is alam mo agad yung gagawin.
All right, that's true, no? So while consistency is important, no, we also need flexibility, no, because business environments ay always na nagbabago. Now, business environments change. Even the technologies that we are using continuously evolve. No, and sometimes or because of the changing business environments, no, because of the evolving technologies then, no, sometimes office systems need to also adapt, no? Na kung saan yung dinidescribe natin na rigid system, no, that cannot adjust to new realities will eventually fail, no? For instance, no, for example, kunwari during the COVID-19 pandemic, no? Many offices that relied heavily on physical filing system, sila yung mga nag-struggle. No, but those that had flexible systems, no, such as yung mga digital document management or even remote communication tools, no, that were able to adapt and continue their operations smoothly. No, so pag sinabi natin flexibility means that the system has room for updates, has room for adjustments and integration of new tools no, without completely breaking down. So yun yung tinatawag natin na flexibility, no? Which is naging ano siya, no, very, masasabi natin na talagang na-observe natin na yung mga offices during pandemic, no, na wala silang mga flexible systems, nahirapan silang mag-adapt. No, dahil nahirapan silang mag-adapt, nahirapan silang ano, mag-survive during the pandemic crisis, no? Na yung mga offices na there's no way for them to be flexible, hindi talaga sila nakapag-operate, no? But for those offices, no, that applies this flexibility, na kumbaga parang madami namang available alternatives, kumbaga. Kung hindi natin kaya magtrabaho physically, we can do our work online. We can do our work remotely kasi may mga available naman na technologies, no? So, which is good thing na nga na may mga technologies tayo ngayon, no? And medyo mahirap kung wala tayong mga technologies, no? But good thing we have this technological advancements, no, we have this technological involvement kaya mas nagiging madali no sa karamihan na maging flexible. Kailangan lang nating maging flexible kasi may mga offices din na available na nga yung mga technologies, available na nga yung mga AI, yung mga automation, pero they are not flexible enough no to adapt to this evolving technologies. Nahirapan sila, no? So kaya flexibility no is the third characteristic no that we should consider no in designing an effective office system. Okay, So after flexibility, we have this fourth principle, which is the documentation. Can you please read the documentation and how you understand it? Sige, Brent, Julian.
A well-documented absence ensures that employees can refer to established guidelines whenever needed. Documentation, documentation acts as a reference for both new and existing employees, guaranteeing that everyone knows how to follow the system. Sir, sabi po dito, napakahalaga daw po ng malinaw na document or gabay na may reference ang mga empleyado at masigurong tama ang kanilang. Yun po.
Okay, wala akong masyadong nag-gets. How about you, Robert? Yep, go ahead.
Sir, pagkakaintindi ko po sa documentation, kasi po, parang yung mga written procedures po, it serves as reliable reference po sa mga employees. So,
Mhm.
having this po, parang it ensures parang that yung mga tasks po are always done correctly po, and even po yung person na responsible sa role na yun is
Mhm.
bago or absent po. Having
Mhm.
documentation po, parang it maintains po consistency, and parang it prevents din po from knowledge loss when yung
Mhm.
mga staff are changing roles po.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. No, that's partly true, no? Based from the example that Robert mentioned. But when it comes to the office systems and office procedures, kapag sinabi nating documentation, every system must be properly documented. No, at papaano natin mado-document yung mga tinatawag, mga dinidescribe natin na system or system and procedure that we want to implement. Okay? Pag sinabi nating documentation in this characteristic, this means na dapat yung systems and yung procedures is on a written guidelines, on a manuals or on a handbooks, no, that employees can refer to, no, which is also tama din yung sinabi ni Robert para kung for example, merong bagong employee, no, or bagong employee inside an office, parang meron kang manuals, meron kang written guidelines, or meron kang handbook no, that you can always refer to. Or kung for example, matagal ka ng employee, tapos medyo may mga nakalimutan ka mga processes, may mga nakalimutan kang system, you can always go back to the manual. You can always go back to the handbook or to the written guidelines that will serve as your guide. No, so that's the documentation being described here. No, kaya even nga sa school, 'di ba, meron tayong mga student handbooks so that you will be guided, no? Kasi the student handbooks, it will guide you kung ano yung mga tamang systems, tamang procedures na kailangan mong sundin or dapat mong gawin, no? So that's the same thing in offices. No, na yung mga systems, no, yung mga procedures inside an office, inside any corporate organization, it should always be documented, no? And sometimes the documentation is can be seen as well in the written contracts, no? Bago tayo pumasok sa isang opisina, meron tayong mga contract signing, and in that contract included din yung documentation for the systems and procedures that you should follow, no? So this documentation ensures, no, that even new employees, no, can quickly learn how things are done, no? And without documentation, the systems exist only in people's memories, no? And when these people leave, no, when a long-time staff member retires, no, the office suddenly doesn't know how certain things are done. No, kaya importante na meron talagang documentation, no? So because the processes were never or kung for example yung mga processes ay hindi nasulat sa any documentation, no? Kumbaga parang kapag mayroong isang matagal ng empleyado na nag-resign dahil parang sinusunod lang based from the memory, no, na talagang yung mga bago hindi nila masusundan kasi walang any written documentation of the systems and the process, no? So that is, no, the characteristic of the documentation. Let's go with the last one, which is the efficiency. Can you please read, Kim, Nicole?
One of the primary goals of office system is to promote efficiency. Office system should minimize unnecessary steps, cleaning workflows, and enable employees to complete tasks in less time. Efficiency is closely related to simplicity and automation. Automated system and tools can significantly reduce manual labor and eliminate bottlenecks. As word itself po, ito po yung isa sa mga goals office system na promoted ng efficiency and nakatulong po siya for employees to do the task po. To do the task po ng maayos kasi ayun nga po, meron po siyang automated system tools na nakaka-help po sa mga employees kung paano po nila gagawin yung isang bagay or yung work nila to um to eliminate battle bottlenecks po.
All right, thank you so much. Okay. No? So for this fifth principle or fifth characteristic rather, efficiency, um, the ultimate goal of systems and procedure basically is to save time. No, that's the main goal. That's the main purpose kung bakit nagde-design tayo or gumagawa tayo ng office systems or gumagawa tayo ng office procedure for us to save time. No, for us to reduce waste and for us to make work easier. At yun yung dinidescribe ng word na efficiency. No? Efficiency often comes from eliminating yung mga redundant steps or yung mga paulit-ulit na steps na paulit-ulit na procedures. Kasi kung may mga paulit-ulit na step, may mga paulit-ulit na procedure, basically we're not saving time. We're just wasting time, no? And dahil paulit-ulit, kumbaga parang hindi siya efficient, no? So that's why pag sinabi nating efficiency, unang-una, it should eliminates or as much as possible remove those redundant steps, no? Na kung saan nag-i-streamline dapat tayo ng ano, no? ng process, no? And which is because of the technologies ngayon, meron tayong mga nagagamit, no, for us to be more efficient, no, dun sa trabaho or dun sa system na ginagawa natin, no? So that's no, to recap, no, effective office systems, unang-una, it should be simple, must be simple rather, must be consistent, must be flexible, must be documented, and efficient, no? So these five principles ensure, no, that systems not only function well, but also support, no, productivity and growth, no? So that's for the office system, no? And once we have no an effective office systems in place, no, the next question is how do we manage the workflow? Okay, kasi 'di ba meron na tayong na-design na system, meron na tayong na-design na procedure. Okay, the next thing that we need to identify or the next thing that we need to manage is yung tinatawag natin na workflow. Okay, may idea ba kayo what do we mean when we say workflow? Anyone who has an idea what do we mean when we say workflow? Anyone? Wala. Okay. Pag sinabi nating workflow, no, from the name itself, no, can derive that it's the flow of work, basically. Workflow. No, ito yung parang papaano mo ginagawa yung trabaho na dapat mong gawin. Okay? And in office system or in office environment rather, no, meron tayong tinatawag na workflow management. Okay? Pag sinabi nating workflow management, um pag sinabi nating workflow management, it is the process of organizing tasks na ginagawa natin in a logical and in a structured way, no, so that the work moves smoothly from start to finish, no? And think of it as creating a map, no, of how work should flow within the office. No, and without workflow management, tasks may be duplicated or deadlines may be missed and employees may become overwhelmed. Okay? So in designing an effective workflow management katulad sa office systems and procedures kanina, meron din tayong mga steps, no, na dapat sundin in order for us to effectively manage a workflow, no, na ginagawa sa isang office. Kasi not enough na meron lang tayong office system. Not enough na meron lang tayong office procedures. Pero kung wala naman tayong or hindi natin na ma-manage ng maayos yung workflow, no, na kailangan gawin or kailangan sundin, balewala yung office system, balewala yung office procedure. Okay? So that's why kayo bilang mga future office professionals, aside from knowing, no, that the characteristics that you should follow in designing an effective office system and in designing an effective office procedure, it's also important for you to know, no, the steps on how you can properly manage the workflow inside that office, no? So that's why we have the first step here is yung tinatawag natin na task identification. Okay? Can you please read what is task identification? And based from what you read, how do you understand task identification? Let's go with uh Justin.
Hello po, sir. Task identification. The first step in workflow management is identifying all the tasks that need to be completed. Breaking down a large project into smaller, manageable tasks helps ensure that no detail is overlooked and the work is allocated efficiently. Sinasabi po na dito po sa task identification, important daw po na ma-disseminate po natin yung mga task ng um, magkakahiwalay po or na-identify po natin kung ano yung group of tasks na ano po yung scope ng task na to, ano po yung process sa task na to, and ano po yung main goal ng task na to para po ah, hindi po tayo nalilito kung ano yung task in hand po natin and napa-prioritize po natin yung mga namamanage po natin and napa-prioritize po natin yung mga tasks na dapat unahin.
All right. Thank you so much. That's true, no? In task identification, pag sinabi nating or the reason why this is the first step, no, in workflow management is because task identification means breaking down a big project into a smaller manageable task. Okay? For example, if inside an office or if your office is organizing a seminar, no, sabihin natin malaking seminar. No, the big project might feel overwhelming. Okay? But if you break it down into tasks like booking the venue or sending invitations or arranging food or preparing materials and setting up equipment, no, parang it suddenly becomes more manageable, no? So each task can be handled separately and more efficiently, no? So sa loob ng isang office, dahil meron tayong mga task na may mga malalaking task, no, na ginagawa natin, kapag hindi natin na-identify or walang task identification sa mga task na yon at pinagawa mo siya, no, sa isang tao lang, parang magiging mabigat siya, magiging mahirap siya. Now, that's why it's important for us to break down, no, that big project into a smaller one para maging manageable yung task na kailangan gawin ng bawat isang empleyado. No, kasi kung for example, Kada isang empleyado, meron silang mabibigat na mga task na ginagawa without the task breaking into smaller manageable tasks. Mahirapan talagang gawin, no? At walang trabaho na magagawa kasi sa isang malaking trabaho, mahirapan agad siya. But kapag we break it down into a smaller manageable task, no? Magagawa talaga yung trabaho, no? So, hindi maapektuhan yung workflow na tinatawag natin. Okay? So, the second one is the task assignment. No? So, in this task, can you please read, John? John, please read. John? How about you? Uh, let's go back with Jenelyn. Jenelyn?
Task assignments. One task are identified, they must be assigned to the appropriate team members. Task assignment involves matching each task with the skills and expertise of individual employees, ensuring that the work is completed efficiently and to a high standards.
Okay. So dito sa task assignment, no, once task is identified from the first step, no, we need to be or that task no need to be assigned to the right people. Okay? So assigning tasks is not just about dividing work equally, no? Katulad nung sa task identification. Okay? Um but about matching tasks with people's skills, no? So ibig sabihin hindi for example merong malaking task na kailangan gawin tapos dinivide nga natin into different manageable tasks pero binigay naman natin siya sa tao na walang skill or walang capability to do that task. So hindi talaga rin siya magagawa. No, wala rin talagang trabahong magagawa. No, that's why in this second step, in the task assignment, um, the assigning the task is not just about dividing the work equally, but it's about assigning the task to the employee who has the capacity to do it, no, or about matching tasks with people's skills. No, for example, if you wouldn't assign the task of setting up or hindi ka for example, hindi ka mag-a-assign sa isang tao na mag-steno kung hindi siya marunong mag-steno, no? And I'm sure ngayon medyo na-encounter niyo na yung steno, no? And I hope na you will love to learn steno, no? So para in the future that you will be assigned with the task of doing steno or writing shorthand or transcribing, no? Isa yun sa mga task na pwedeng ibigay sa inyo because you have the capacity, you have the capability to do that. Okay? So, knowledge check. So far ba nag-enjoy kayo ngayon sa steno? I hope so. Kung hindi pa, sana ma-enjoy nyo, no? Kasi later on, nakaka-enjoy talaga siya. Ngayon pa lang na nagsisimula kayo, baka medyo nakukonfuse ko yung ngayon. Pero, it's fun to learn shorthand. Okay? So, yun. So, let's go with the third one, which is scheduling. Yes, Robert, go ahead.
After assigning tasks, it's important to create a timeline or schedule. Setting deadlines for each task ensures that work stays on track and that any potential delays are addressed early on. Scheduling tasks also provides a clear roadmap of when each element of the project should be completed.
Alright. Sige Robert, based from the definition, bakit kaya importante itong scheduling na to as part of the step?
Pagkakaintindi ko po, ayun nga po, parang having a set clear of timeline po, it is essential po kasi it keeps the workflow po on track, and yung like scheduling task po with deadlines, parang it helps po to avoid delays like mga last minute stress po and yung mga overlapping responsibilities po. And so it gives po like sa mga team members po in a sense of like direct and yun nga po, it gives the team member po the sense of direct and urgency po, like making it parang easier po to prioritize their work and complete it on time po.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Sa scheduling naman, no, every task, syempre lahat ng mga task kailangan ng deadline. Tama ba? Scheduling creates a timeline that keeps work on track. Okay? Without deadlines, tasks tend to drag on indefinitely. No, kasi kung hindi tayo magsiset ng deadline, talagang hindi rin siya gagawin or hindi siya ipaprioritize talaga. No, kaya sa lahat ng mga tasks na ginagawa, sa mga tasks na ina-assign, sa mga tasks na kailangan gawin, there's always a deadline. No? Kasi kung walang deadline, kumbaga parang, kasi tayo, di ba, kahit nga kayo as a student, kapag alam yung deadline, hindi nyo siya ipaprioritize na gawin. Or kung for example, alam nyo nga may deadline, pero yung deadline is next month pa, kahit complicated yung task na gagawin, it would take you, sabihin na natin, it would take you a month not to completely do the task, hindi nyo pa siya agad gagawin. No, gagawin nyo na lang siya kung kailan malapit na yung deadline. No, and I'm sure majority of you also do the same thing na for example, may assignment, tapos kunwari ang deadline ng assignment is bukas ng 11:59 ng gabi, gagawin nyo siya bukas ng gabi mga 10 p.m. or mga 11 p.m. ganon, no? And without scheduling and workflow, kapag hindi tayo magse-set ng ano ng timeline, no, kumbaga parang the task, no, ay hindi siya talaga tatrabahuhin ng maayos, no. That's why in workflow it's important na meron tayong scheduling na tinatawag, because scheduling once again creates a timeline that keeps every work on track, no? So that's the scheduling. Okay, let's go with the next one, which is the progress monitoring or monitoring progress. And let's go with Kim. Go ahead.
Monitoring progress. Workflow management doesn't stop after task assignment and scheduling. Progress must be monitored to ensure that deadlines are being met and the tasks are completed on time. Monitoring progress also helps identity issues or obstacle that might rise. Monitoring, ito po yung regularly progress checking and tracking sa mga work and task po to compare advance plan para po ma-monitor natin yung mga nangyayari, especially dun nga po sa deadlines.
All right, thank you. Wait lang. Okay. And the fourth step, no, kadugtong siya, no, ng third, of course, no, because scheduling alone is not enough because we also need to, uh, since the scheduling is not enough, sorry na wala ako sa focus. Kachat ko sa yung mga student orgs ng iTech. Anyways, um, scheduling alone is not enough. No, we also need progress monitoring. Now, and this means regularly checking whether tasks are on track. Kasi syempre may schedule nga, pero hindi naman natin na monitor yung progress ng mga schedules. Bali, wala din yung schedules. No? So kaya, kadugtong, sabi dito, workflow management doesn't stop after task assignment and scheduling. Now, progress must be monitored to ensure that deadlines are being met. No? Which is actually itong ano no, itong dinidescribe natin dito na steps in workflow management hindi lang to actually sa office no observe no, we can also observe this sa mga academic tasks natin no, sa mga academic tasks ninyo no, or even sa mga group activities na kailangan yung gawin no. So itong mga steps na to for sure these are all self-explanatory because no, you are basically doing this. You are basically you should apply this, no? Dun sa mga tasks na ginagawa nyo, no? So from that task, no, ganun din sa office environment, no? Kailangan na ma-manage din natin yung workflow no ng maayos kasi kung hindi natin ma-manage yung workflow ng maayos, then basically wala tayong trabahong magagawa. Okay? Let's go with the next one, which is addressing bottlenecks. Okay, can you please read? Can you please read? Um, Michaela?
Addressing bottlenecks. Inefficiencies in the workflow can cause delays and lead to missed deadlines. A key component of workflow management is identifying bottlenecks, whether they caused by overloaded employees, unclear instruction, or resource shortage, and addressing them quickly.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Pag sinabi nating addressing bottlenecks, so pag sinabi nating bottleneck, it is an issue or it is a problem, no? Or a bottleneck is any obstacle, no, that slows down the progress, no, ng trabaho na kailangan nating gawin. Okay? This could be an overloaded employee, or a lack of resources or unclear instructions no, so yun yung mga tinatawag natin na mga bottlenecks in the office environment no. Kung gagamitin nating example, for example yung workflow ninyo as a student, ano ba yung mga possible bottlenecks no for you to do your tasks or to do your assignments. Possibly marami kayong mga kasabay na tasks na kailangan gawin, or possibly wala kayong ganang gawin yung mga tasks, or you don't have the resources, you don't have the internet no that you need, or you don't have the laptop that could help you with your productivity no. So yun yung mga tinatawag natin na bottlenecks no. And the solution no might be to outsource the task no to kung to another employee no, that for example kunwari ang isa sa bottleneck ninyo to do your task is wala kayong internet no. So the possible solution is for you to buy internet no, or you don't have the laptop to do the task, then the possible solution is you borrow from your classmate that has the laptop or that has the resources no. So in office environment, hindi nawawala yung mga bottlenecks no. And as an office manager, as an office professional, administrative professional, if let's say for example in the workflow no that you need to do, meron kayong mga nakikitang bottlenecks, meron kayong nakikitang mga obstacle, then basically you need to address those bottlenecks. Kasi kung pababayaan nyo lang or hahayaan nyo lang na may mga bottlenecks, may mga problems, may mga obstacle, then definitely wala kayong workflow na magagawa. Okay? At hindi valid reason yung mga bottlenecks na yun na, ay, sir, hindi ko po ginawa yung assignment kasi wala po akong internet. No? So it's not a valid excuse. Sir, hindi po ako nagpasa ng activity kasi wala po akong laptop na gagamitin. Sir, hindi po ako nagpasa ng activity kasi marami po akong ginagawang activities. No? So it's not an excuse. No? So that's why you should always address those bottlenecks. You should always address those obstacles kasi meron kayong trabaho na kailangan yung gawin. Okay? Clear po ba tayo doon? Questions? None? Masyado ba ako mabilis mag-discuss? Hindi naman. Naintindihan naman, no? Okay. So, now that we've covered workflow management, now let's turn to the best practices in office organization. Okay? So, organization, once again, is not just about uh, uh, cleanliness, no? It's about creating an environment where everything is easy to find, no? Where the tasks are easy to complete and distractions are minimized. Okay? One best practice in office organization is yung describe natin na decluttering, no? For sure, alam nyo yung decluttering, ibig sabihin yan paglilinis ng kalat, no? Baka possible sa sobrang dami ng mga gamit ninyo na hindi nyo na ginagamit, meron kayong tinatawag na decluttering. No, ganun din sa office environment. No, meron din tayong describe na decluttering. Okay? And a cluttered workspace leads to wasted time and mental stress. Okay? So imagine trying to find an important document on a desk filed high with papers, no? Kaya sa mga office environment, no, sa mga office organizations, they make sure that wala silang I mean, they always do declutter or dapat yung table is always na malinis, no? Yung table kung saan kayo nagtatrabaho, it should always be clean. Kasi kung for example, yung working table nyo, ang daming mga nakapatong na documents, kalat-kalat yung mga document, it's not organized, then basically, it could affect, no, your mental stress sa work. It could lead to wasted time, no? So, decluttering, pag sinabi nating decluttering in office environment, it means removing unnecessary items and keeping only what is essential. No, kaya may filing system tayo na nakadugtong. Kasi kung wala tayong filing system, talagang yung mga for example, yung mga documents na lang natin, kung nakapatong lahat yan sa table, no, nakapatong lahat yan sa working stations nyo, talagang mas stress ka talaga magtrabaho kasi makalat, kumbaga. No? So, decluttering once again means removing unnecessary items and keeping only what is essential. No? Na kung saan some offices even designate a monthly cleanup day, no, to encourage everyone to declutter their space. Kasi kung makalat yung space nyo, no, sa office, talagang talagang mahirapan kayong gumalaw, no? Mahirapan kayong magtrabaho. Okay? So another practice in organizing, kasi yun yung natin, yun yung pinaka-title nito, no? Best practices in office organization. Ang tinutukoy natin dito is the physical office, no? The office environment itself, kung saan tayo nagtatrabaho or the place itself. Okay? So another practice aside from decluttering is yung tinatawag natin na having a good filing system. Okay? Whether physical or digital, no, filing systems must be logical and easy to use. No, in a physical system, you might organize files alphabetically or even by department. Okay? In a digital system naman, you might organize them by project or by client. No, and the key is that anyone should be able to locate a file quickly, no, without confusion. Okay, so that's filing system. Pangatlo, closely related, no, to filing is labeling and storage. No, so syempre yung mga filing systems natin, para hindi tayo malito dun sa mga filing systems na ginagawa natin, it's also important that we do this labeling and storage. Okay? Kasi proper labeling, no, ensures that documents and supplies can be identified instantly. no, na kung saan some offices no use color-coded folders or labels no to distinguish between types of files, no? For example, kunwari, may mga offices na they use color coding labels, no? For example, color blue or color coded folders, no, to distinguish yung mga files. For example, pag blue, alam mong that file is for financial records. Kapag red, it's for contracts. For green, it's for personal files, no? So with clear labeling, it reduces mistakes and it saves time. Okay? Which is kayo as mga students, di ba? I'm sure minsan natatry nyo din gawin yan. Um, I don't know no if you started doing the color coded notebook nung kayo ay mga senior high, pero 'di ba merong nabibiling note file fillers ba yung tawag doon no na sa color pa lang ma-identify mo kung anong subject yung nililabel mo with that color, no? So ganun sa offices, it's important no for us to know how to properly label the different documents na na-encounter natin daily for us to know no na madali nating ma-identify no yung mga labels na yon, and kung kailangan nating hanapin, alam natin kung saan natin hahanapin because we practice no this labeling and storage. Okay? So, the next one is meron tayong tinatawag na digital organization, no? Today's office, kasi meron ng mga technologically advanced offices din, no? And they are leveraging the use of digital um, office organization, no? So, digital organization is equally important, no? And this includes using consistent naming conventions for documents, no? Kasi 'di ba meron tayong Google Drive na ginagamit, no? So Google Drive is one of the digital organization that we can use, and in using the Google Drive, no? Um it's also important na katulad nung sa labeling and storage, alam natin yung mga file names. No, kaya kung meron tayong mga consistent na naming conventions na ginagamit for documents, no, for organizing files into folders and regularly backing up data, di tayo may hirapang hanapin kung nasaan yung mga documents na kailangan nating hanapin. Okay? So it's the same thing with labeling and storage. It just happens that we are doing it digitally. No, for example, in Google Drive. Okay? Kasi sa Google Drive, 'di ba, marami tayong mga masasave na files. Pero yung mga files na yon kung hindi siya na-organize ng maayos, no, wala siya sa mga folders kung saan siya dapat nakasave, or wala tayong sinusunod na mga naming conventions for the documents, mahirapan talaga tayong maghanap. Okay? So it's also important for us to do this digital organization. Okay? Then finally, meron tayong tinatawag na ergonomics and office layout. Okay? Pag sinabi naman nating ergonomics and office layout, ito yung physical setup ng office. Okay? So the physical setup of the office should support comfort and productivity. No, yung mga chairs, yung mga desks, even the monitor should be adjusted to prevent strain, no? And the layout should allow easy movement and easy collaboration while minimizing distractions, no? So as future office professionals, isa to sa mga tasks, no, na kumbaga parang ito isa to sa mga responsibilities ninyo. No, you should ensure proper ergonomics and proper office layout, no? Na yung office layout, yung office ergonomics, it's something na pag pumasok ka sa office na yon, kumbaga parang um maano ka no, parang may encourage ka na magtrabaho. Hindi yung pag pumasok ka sa isang office, pagpasok mo, parang tatamarin kang magtrabaho kasi parang alam mo yun, parang may mga ganong offices na pagpasok mo pa lang, pagkakita mo ng arrangement ng desk, pagkakita mo ng arrangement ng mga furniture, parang nakakatamad mag-work, no? So it's also important, no, for us to know the proper ergonomics and the proper office layout, no? And kasi an ergonomic office dapat it will look professional. Kasi kapag ang isang office sa arrangement pa lang ng furniture, sa arrangement pa lang nung mga tables, ng mga chairs, no, kapag it looks professional, it improves employee health and efficiency, no? And when we talk about office organization and ergonomics, we are not just talking about aesthetic, no? Kasi syempre, di ba yun yung ano natin, yung jargon term natin, no? Dapat aesthetic. No? At pag sinabi natin aesthetic, it should be clean, it should be comfortable. Sorry. It should be well organized, no? Sakit talaga nalalamunan ko. And yung clean, no, yung comfortable and yung well-arranged na office, it directly influence the way no tayo as employee feel and perform inside an office, no? So kaya importante din no na alam natin yung itong tinatawag natin na ergonomics, no, itong office layout because it could help us no to to really manage the office environment na mina-manage natin effectively and efficiently, no? Questions? Patutong pa ba to? Yeah. Questions? No questions? Everything's clear? Okay. So yeah, that's basically the the topic no that we need to discuss or that we need to talk about in the module 2, no, kasi yun yung nasa office systems and procedures natin. For next week is October 7. Sige, I don't know if I can meet you online. Pero kung hindi, I'll be giving you an activity or magpapasin ko nun sa activity ta ako or if I'm available to meet you on Wednesday, let's proceed with the module 3. For you to do advanced study, I'll be uploading the module 3 sa ating wala pa pala kayong LMS, no? Sige, I'll be sending the module 3 sa ating group chat no for you to do advanced reading para for next week. Next week ang gagawin ko no sa discussion next week, hindi lang puro ako, no, I would also allow you no to contribute. I would allow you to contribute, no? Para medyo nasa-save ko yung boses ko ng konti. Kasi, yun nga, medyo masakit yung aking lalamunan this past weeks. Ayan. Alright, so no questions? No clarifications? Everything's clear? Are you sure? No, baka mamaya may mga na-discuss
Yes
ako na
po.
it's unclear for you. You can always ask questions and clarifications. Wala naman, sige. Kung wala na, that's it for today. Let's open our cam. Let's take photo attendance. Next week na ako magbibigay ng quiz sa inyo. Yeah, let me just stop sharing my screen. All right. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Smile. All right, so that's it, everyone. Thank you. See you next week.
Thank you po.
Thank you, sir po.
Thank
Have
you
a
so
great
much
day.
po, sir.
Po, sir.